Hello there, friends. I promised some of you to make a video of how we are making juice, vegetable juice. I like to just show you with this video how easy it is when you have bought a machine like this. I like to also emphasize how super healthy it is to juice your vegetables rather than eating them, because you can just juice so much more vegetables than you would be able to normally eat. So here I'm going to make two different kinds of juices, and I'm going to use something like maybe 4 kilos of fruit and vegetables, which was something we would never be able to consume if we had to chew our way through it. So I will begin by making a green juice, and the green is this leticali, kale, and half a kilo of carrots and 4 small apples. You can also use 3 if they are bigger, or well, basically the apples, they are to sweeten the juice a bit, and the carrots, they are simply just tasting good in themselves. The kale, the leticali, is not so good tasting perhaps if you would drink it raw, so that's why we mix it with some. And with these ingredients I will have like around 800 milliliters of juice. So 2 large cups or 3 small cups out of this. So let's begin. And I always, and these are some tricks how to work with the machine. I always begin with the soft ingredients first, because they tend to get a little stuck inside, and so afterwards it's good to end with the harder vegetables, because they can like clear out all the soft parts. And also, even this juicer has quite a big opening. It's still important to cut the vegetables into smaller pieces, because yeah, the process is just easier. The machine is better able to work its way through the materials, the vegetables. And especially with these kind of vegetables that has long threads in them, they will very quickly get stuck inside the machine. So it's really important to cut them in small pieces. So here I'm cutting them in like 2 centimeter pieces or something. And you see like the stem has threads in them, and the stem would get stuck in here in the machine if they are not cut through. So here's the leticali, and it smells wonderful. It's so fresh. It's so full of chlorophyll. It's simply plant life, sunlight transformed into plant life. So let's start this machine. And this big opening is quite helpful. It's easier to get the vegetables in. Some juicers has quite a small opening. And this juicer is a slow juicer. So what it does is it juices the vegetables slowly. And it means that it's rotating very slow, which also means that it is not oxidizing the juice. Meaning, when you have a juicer that is spinning very fast, there's a lot of air put into the juice, into the vegetable juice, and that air is oxidizing the juice. And oxidation is, you know, rust, like the car is rusting, and that process we would like to avoid as much as possible with the fruits. It's the same thing that happens when you cut an apple. It gets brown rather quickly, and this is oxidation. So anyway, the slow juicer actually performs the same process as when we are chewing our way through the food. That you see the pulp comes out here, or the substantial parts comes out here, and the fluids come out here, and it's exactly the same way as the body works. We also have two holes, one for the heavy parts and one for the liquids. But here in this case we are drinking the liquids, and the pulp is basically the insoluble fibers. So most of these fibers that you see coming out here, we will not be able to digest anyway. So you know, when we eat, we pretty much get rid of the same amount as we put into the body. But with juice, this is not the case. When you drink juice, you don't you know, get rid of as much, because it's only fluids you are drinking. You are not eating the solids. So anyway, now I juice the leticali, and actually I actually take it one more time. You can juice it again. This is really good. It's just amazingly wonderful taste, and it's powerful. Like you really get a boost out of this. So I just get as much as I can out of it. I only do this with the leticali. I don't do it with apples or oranges or carrots or that kind of thing. But the leticali is very nutritious, so I like to get as much as possible out of it. And then I take the apples, which is also rather soft, and when you put the apples into the machine, it's actually, even you can fit these in, it's actually going to be a little better if you cut them in smaller pieces, and the machine is better able to digest them. And of course, organic as much as possible is self-obvious. Because simply the organic food has so much more life in them than the conventional grown foods. But if you can't get anything else, then certainly better than nothing. So now I took all the soft parts, the leticali and the apples, and now it's time for the carrots. And even carrots can easily fit, like these fat ones. Even they can fit here. You don't put this big carrots in the machine. You have to really, like this type you could put in. But actually I think that the machine is more effective. You get more juice if you cut them in smaller pieces. So I usually cut them in half. You don't necessarily have to cut them half length, but even that I have found out that it seems to be maybe a little more clean inside when I cut them in smaller pieces. And these gigantic carrots, they really need to be cut like in quarters like this, and then basically you can put them in like this. Okay, so now it seems that we have all the vegetables run through the juicer, and we pretty much have our juice ready. The pulp can still come out like some time after you have put the last vegetables in, so it's still kind of extracting juice maybe a minute or two after you have put the last vegetables in. But anyway, we stop it here and close the lid. And then you'll see here that there's a lot of foam. The green leticali is really making a lot of foam. And some people take the foam away, but I actually like to get as much as that green stuff as possible. It's really, really good. So I pour it forth and back like this to mix the foam a little with the so in this way I'm just mixing it so it's nice and consistent. And so we have here 0.7 liters of juice. There we are. Green and nutritious. What you can do is also to put in some oil. We use coconut oil, which doesn't taste of anything basically. But the carrots can be a little rough on the belly. So in order to be better able to digest the carrots, a little oil is a good thing. So I will just do that. And this coconut oil doesn't taste of much, so you really don't notice it. Let's taste. Cheers. Unbelievably good. Really, really good. So the idea with this kind of juice is that you basically, if you really want to do something to benefit your health, to better your health, make juice and take away one meal, for example. One whole meal. It could be the noon meal that you exchange with juice, or it could be the evening meal that you simply replace with juice. Of course, 1 glass or 2 glasses are not enough. So I will make one more juice to show you how we make red juice also.